Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome all of you to the Communicative English class. So, how are you? We are conducting this class maybe for 3-4 days. So, we have covered some basic topics of grammars, and I think you have all understood the topics. It was very easy. Okay, someone is joining. Yes, Shurja, you are from which college or university? Are you a student? You are not connecting with the audio. Hello, can you hear me, Shurjashish? Please respond. If you are in the class, please respond. So we have first covered parts of speech. Then we have discussed about tense, three types of tense: present, past, future. What are the classifications there? How you can use the forms? We have discussed that. So then we have discussed verbs. How many types of verbs are there? So we have not completed that part. So we'll continue that part. Then we will move towards today's session. I just want to interact with the students, or I don't know you are a student or not. You are from which college or university? Can you please answer me? Please respond. Hello, can you hear me? Shumon Kumar Das. Let me continue. But please respond. Okay, if you're in the class, please respond. I cannot understand. Like you are from which university? So this was our topic. We were discussing this verbs. So we have discussed action verbs. We have discussed stative verbs, then transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, linking verbs, helping verbs, modal verbs, regular verbs, irregular, phrasal, infinitives. So I'm telling all these things once again for revision. Then we will move. So action verbs, as the name says, they refer to some actions always. Like verbs are mainly action words. So action verbs you can easily identify like run, swim, help, ignore, believe. By which verb you understand, like you mean some action, physical actions. Those are called action verbs. Now, how you can use action verbs? I work at a factory. Cats chase mice. We listen to the woman's amazing story. So all these verbs, all these three verbs, work, chase, listened, all these are talking about some action. So these are action verbs. Okay, now stative verbs. Unlike action verbs, stative verbs refer to the conditions or states of being. So apparently these are not action. So these are some states of being. So what are the examples? Like love, want, own, have, resemble. See, if you read these verbs, you can understand that these are not telling about any action. Like I want this. So like state of being or condition. So these are stative verbs. So example of static verbs in a sentence, then the mansion has 5 bathrooms. So has, this verb, just a second. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. So these are the some examples of these static verbs. So my car needs an oil change. All these things are coming under static verbs. Now, what is transitive verbs? The transitive verb is a verb that is accompanied by a direct object in a sentence. The direct object is like noun, pronoun, or noun phrase that is having something done to it by the subject of the sentence. Both action and static verbs can have direct objects, which means they can both be used as transitive verbs. So transitive verbs mainly has one object, direct object. So it can be noun, pronoun, noun phrase, anything. So Leonardo ate a delicious pepperoni pizza. See, in this sentence, Leonardo is the subject, ate is the verb, and what is the object? Delicious pizza. Now, if you ask what is delicious, delicious is coming for the adjective. Okay, can you please respond? Sujashish, Sumon. See, if you are in the class, I need to give the attendance. So I must know that you are from which college or university. Please put your video on and respond. Are you there? Hello, Surjashish, Suman, please unmute yourself. Hello. Please unmute yourself. I need to know. Are you following what I am teaching? Suman Kumar does. Please unmute yourself. Surjas is connect to the audio. So now there are some example of transitive verbs. So I've given a list. Suppose bring. Now you can make any sentence with bring, like please bring me a glass of water. Now what is the object here? Glass of water. Cost. My coat cost a lot of money. Now what is the object? Lot of money. Now give. Our family gives gift at Christmas. So this what is the object here? Gives. So you can see in every verb has an object. So you can call it transitive verbs. If you are in the class and you are not interacting, it becomes very disturbing. So you're not also switching on your video. So do one thing, you switch on your video or stay in the class, like interact with me. If it is a live class, I also want to interact. What is intransitive verbs? The opposite of transitive verb is an intransitive verb. So a verb is an intransitive verb when it is not used to the direct object. So remember, only nouns, pronouns, and noun phrase can be direct objects. So prepositional phrases, adjectives, and adverbs cannot be uh, used as direct objects. Okay. So both action verbs and static verbs can be used as transitive verbs. Now, what are the example of transitive verbs in a sentence? So each of the sentence uses intransitive verbs like airplanes fly. So in this sentence, you cannot find any object there. So just airplanes fly. Subject is there and verb is there. So this is called intransitive verb. Now, in the second sentence, the children slept while the adults worked. So children is a subject and slept is the verb. Now there is no object. So this is intransitive verbs. The terrified monkeys hid in the trees after they saw the gigantic hungry snake. Now what is the verb here? The terrified monkeys hid in the trees. Hid is the verb and there is no object. So that is why it is intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs has two characteristics. First, it is an action verb expressing a double activity like arrive, go, lie, sneeze. Second, unlike a transitive verb, it will not have any direct object. I already told that it is raining, so it doesn't have any direct object. That's why it is intransitive verb. So when he finished the race, he burped. So there is no direct object. It is also intransitive verb. So linking verbs. What are the linking verbs? Like linking verbs are a special type of stative verbs whose name give a big clue as to what they do. So linking verbs are used to link a subject with a subject complement. So these are the linking verbs like be, become, seem, appear, grow. These are some linking verbs. So what are the examples? Like in each of the following sentence, linking verbs are used to link a subject to the subject complement. Like Mike is a great dancer. So is the be verb. Is, am, are. All these can be used as linking verb. That gold watch looks expensive. So looks is also the linking verb. Suddenly the mall got really crowded. All these are linking verbs. So these are connecting two phrase or two sentences. Helping verbs. What are the helping verbs? Helping verbs, also called auxiliary verbs, or helpful verbs that work with other verbs to change the meaning of sentence, like be, have, do, can, will. All these are helping verbs. Now, what are the example of helping verbs in a sentence? Each of the following sentences use a helping verb. Like has, the musician has performed in concerts all over the world. My cat is getting slow in her old age. Cheetahs can run incredibly. So all these are helping verbs. Now, what are the modal verbs? Modal verbs are a subgroup of helping verbs like can, may, might, must, would. All these are modal verbs. So modal verbs you can use for permission, for order, also for some like something you must do. All these things, for all this situation we can use modal verbs. So regular verbs. So this one we had not discussed last time. So right now we are discussing so many types of verbs. Now regular verbs is a type of verb where the like one verb has three forms, like present form, past form, and past participle form. Now when a verb is transforming into past form, we generally add d or ed. Now, what is regular verbs? So, a verb is considered a regular verb if its past tense, form, and past participle ends in ed, d, or the verb is a variant verb. For example, the verb looks, uh, the verb look is a regular verb because both its past tense, form, and past participle is look. So when we are getting two forms like all like alike, same, like we are adding be or in the both two forms in the past and in the past participle, then it is a regular verb. So sometimes regular verbs may slightly change spelling. For example, the past tense and the past participle of cry is cried. Jump becomes jumped, sleep becomes slept, try becomes tried, sleep becomes slept, like that. So what we told, if there is D or ED, then it is a regular verb. So, and the same form will continue in past tense and past participle tense. Okay, so this last two, sleep and lend, will not be like we cannot group it into regular verb because these are wrong. Because these are not ending with D or ED. They are like changing their forms. So it will go to irregular verbs. So I'm showing it to you. Now, what are the example of regular verbs in a sentence? Each of the each of the following sentence, there is regular verb like he walked 2 miles, walked. We purchased all the supplies we needed for the camping. To purchase needed. Tiffany had noticed something, noticed. All these are regular verbs. Irregular verbs. So, what is irregular verbs? An irregular verb is a verb whose past tense and past participle form doesn't end in ed and doesn't use the t variant. Often, spelling of these verbs changes dramatically or may not even change at all. Uh, like list of irregular verbs, like whose verbs are not ending with d or ed, and they are saying they're not using T variant, but I'm not very much sure about it. I will like take it and I will tell you this one. This one I will check and tell that irregular verbs will not use T variant or not. The spelling of verbs changes dramatically or may not even change at all. So sometimes the spelling of this irregular verbs changing totally or sometimes they're not changing at all. So like am, is, are transformed into was, were, be, being, been in past tense. Am, is, are becoming was and were. Now eat becomes ate, eaten. Fly becomes flew, flown. Catch becomes caught, caught. So these are irregular verbs. So see here they have again given examples like cat, caught, caught. So I'm not very sure. I will take this and tell this one T variant. And again, see this said verb is same. Said, said, said. No change of form in this verb. So Yes, Shurjashish, you want to say something?
No, ma'am, thank you.
You are from which college, Shurjashish?
SNLC.
Presidency.
Surendranath.
Okay, okay. Shurendra. Do you have any queries, Shurjashish, what I am teaching? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, what are the example of irregular verbs? Like Cindy knew all of the right answers. So, knew. Knew is the past tense of know verbs. Know, knew, known. Like this junky computer has given me nothing but headache since I bought it. So, gave, given. This is the irregular verb. The workers took the furniture out of the moving truck. So, take, took, taken. These are the forms. So, took is the irregular verb here. Now, phrasal verb is a special kind of verb where one verb and one preposition is coming together. So it forms a different kind of meaning. So phrasal verb are combination of a verb with preposition and or adverb and has a different meaning from the individual words. For example, the verb shut means to close, and the adverb down means not up or in a descending direction. However, the phrasal verb shut down means to stop the operation of something. So, what are the list of phrasal verbs? Ask for, put up with, take off down to, lock up, cut across. All these are phrasal verbs. We'll discuss phrasal verbs once again. Now, I told you that phrasal verbs, when these verbs and preposition or adverbs are coming together, they are changing the meaning totally. The frustrated business owner closed down his store. Now, there are two words we can see, and that is forming one verb, close down. Now, first one is close is a verb and down is a preposition. So this one is a phrasal verb. Now, close down means close. So you can ask like down means down, like downstairs. So how can it like means close? But that is the thing. Like phrasal verb is totally changing its meaning when these words are coming together. Dave loves to show off his baseball trophies. Show off. Here also you can see one verb and one adverb is coming together. So my mother always told me it's a good idea to put some money away in case of emergency. See here the phrasal verb put away. Now are not used together, like they are used like here it put and after some money there is away. So you can use in this way also.
And so we can like keep the words separate between a
Yes,
phrase.
yes. Sometimes you can use in this way, like put some money away, or you can use put away some money. Okay. So these are the use of phrasal verbs. I am showing you that like what are the phrasal verbs and what are the uses. Let me finish this one. Now infinitives. Do you have any idea what are infinitives? So infinitives are the verbs where we are adding to before that. In infinitive, we can like say, I want to walk. So to walk is the infinitive. Now you cannot use any past tense in infinitive. Like you cannot write I want to walk. You cannot write that. That is totally wrong. So our last type of verb isn't a verb at all. Okay. However, infinitives look a lot like verbs because they are derived from them. So infinitive of a verb is identical to the base form of the verb. For example, the infinitive form of the verb open is open. Yes, like to open. You cannot change the form. But typically, we use infinitives with the word to in order to uh, form infinitive phrases. Now, like infinitive phrases can be used for a variety of reasons, such as to act like nouns, adjectives, or adverbs. Let me give you some example. So all of the following sentences use infinitive phrases in order. The infinitive phrases are acting as noun, an adjective, and an adverb. It can be nominal infinitive when it is noun. It can be adjectival infinitive when it is adjective. And it can be adverbal infinitive when it is adverb. To play guitar in a rock band is my goal. To play is the infinitive. If you are looking for the best restaurants in town, Luis is the person to ask. To ask is the infinitive. Writing in the letter was too small to see. This is the infinitives. What are the infinitives? To play, to ask, and to see. You use all these things, but maybe you don't know. Just know it. So now we have discussed all these kind of verbs, infinitives, phrasal verbs, modals, regular, irregular, transitive, intransitive, and you have to practice a lot for verbs so that you can understand. Okay, so you're learning basic grammar, so it's okay. And let me go to the next one. I have made another slide with phrasal verb. One second. Just a second, I have to take the attendance. So let me take that. So what are the verbs I have told you? For that you need to know the three forms of the verb very well, like past form and past participle form. Like go, went, gone, do, did, done, like that. There are so many verbs and so many forms are there. So you need to know that very clearly. Like if you like if you don't know and if you are writing like right past form is righted, then it is very wrong and it has no meaning. So you cannot do that. You have to know all the forms. And one also very important thing, when you are using to in the sentence, now you know that that is infinitive. So you just use present form. And I also discussed like according to the person, like I is the first person, you is the second person, he or she is the third person. So according to the person, the verb form changes. Like I can write I go, so you cannot write he go, so you have to write he goes. So like all these small things you have to keep in mind. Now phrasal verb was like another thing which we have to discuss. So I told you phrasal verb is a normal verb or with an adverb or preposition. So which is creating a new verbal phrase. So that is called phrasal verb. So if you want to note it down, you can note it down. Verb plus adverb or preposition is phrasal verb. So the meaning of a phrasal verb is usually unrelated to the meanings of the words that comprise it. Think of a phrasal verb as an entirely new and independent word. So I told you that when these two words are coming together, they're forming a totally new meaning, new word. So when used in a sentence, phrasal verbs act as the same as other verbs for conjugation and placement, although they do have basic spatial grammatical rules about word order, which we talk about below. We are talking now. So it can be conjugated into each type of verb form. There may be present tense of the verb or past tense of the verb, any form they can have. Okay. Like get over. This is a verb. Now the verb get alone means to acquire, and the preposition over alone usually refers to being higher or going above something. Now, however, put them together and the phrasal verb over means to recover and overcome. So completely new definition that separate from the definition of get and over. So you can use get over just like a normal verb and in any form or tense. You understood what I said? Get over, get is the verb, over is the preposition. Now these two words have different meanings. Now, get means acquire, over means to get higher. So when you are using this together, get over, it means to overcome or recover. So it is coming with,
Acquiring,
sorry?
acquiring a higher position.
No, ধরো get মানে কিছু চাওয়া, আমি কিছু চাইছি, I want to get that. এবার over মানে কি কিছু হায়ার কিছু চাইছি, হ্যাঁ। এবার তুমি যদি এটা get over, I want to get over this situation. So what do you mean? You want to overcome the situation. So ওই দুটো মিনিং একদমই আসছে না, একটা অন্য মিনিং ফর্ম হচ্ছে। ক্লিয়ার সূর্যাশিস?
Yes.
So you can get over, you can use get over just like a normal verb in any form or tense. Here are some examples. I had the flu last week, but got over it. So if you are using in simple past tense, you have to use I got over it. If you are using as infinitive, you have to write to get over. If it is gerund I have not discussed, but gerund is when you are adding ing with the verb. We will discuss it. So getting over, participle, having finally gotten over. So participle is something when you are like using the third form of the verb. So in you can like change the form according what you are writing. Past, simple past, infinitive, gerund, participle, anything. Okay, so we will conclude here today. Just understand phrasal verbs. You can also study about phrasal verbs, and we will again continue with phrasal verbs in the next class. So do you have any queries? How did you like the class today?
It was nice, ma'am. Very informative.
Thank you. So you can join next class also. We'll continue with that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
May I go offline?
Yes.
Thank you.